everybody. I'm Samina Cluck. I'm a social media consultant with Amplify Your Voice, LLC, and I am the social media committee co-chair for the Women's Bar Association of DC. And I am so excited today to bring you this career toolkit video on making a career change. And we have got the perfect person to talk to about that with us, Candace Beck, who is our upcoming president of the Women's Bar Association and is currently the counsel and director of client relations at Tan and Holtz and Associates, but has had a long career in the legal industry with a lot of changes. And from what I saw, you've moved from being a federal clerk and a federal attorney to a law firm associate, a public defender, working in nonprofit legal aid side of things, an e-discovery consultant, and even your own holistic meditation and divorce coaching business. So you've had a lot of changes.
I have. Hi, Samina. It's so great to see you. Thanks. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, I used to be a little ashamed of how many different jobs I've had because it looks so strange to people because so many people stay in the same job forever or only have one or two changes. But yeah, I feel like I am the perfect person to talk about it because there's no shame in it at all. And I feel like every single position I've held has gotten me to where I needed to go next. And I truly believe in that. That there is no wrong decision. Like you just get to a place and there's multiple reasons why you might leave a job, right? Like either you're just bored or you really, it really isn't the type of law you want to practice, or your husband decides he wants to go and pursue an interest in or your partner in a different state, and you have to decide, well, okay, do I go with them or not, right? And like, and if I do, what do I want to do there? But it's been a wonderful journey, and I'd love to share whatever kind of you think might be helpful for people that view the toolkit. So thanks for having me.
No, thank you. Well, it's great. You've made a lot of changes, some within, traditional legal practice and some far outside. So for folks who are thinking about making a change, what advice would you have for them?
Yeah, I mean, really get clear with yourself about what you want to do. I really believe the more passionate you are about something, the more fascinated you are about a subject, the better employee, the better lawyer, the better whatever you're going to be. And getting clear on what you really want to do, it changes throughout your trajectory, really, or it has for me. I started as I knew I wanted to do public interest law when I was in law school. That's my heart, and it's still my heart. It's still my passion. I do a lot of board work more than one-on-one representation, but it's been a part of my life throughout my legal career. But it just so happened I got a federal clerkship, and that took me to big law, and then I made different changes. But I think, yeah, being intentional is always where you want to start. And I do a lot of journaling and a lot of planning, and just getting quiet about what it is you want, what would make you happy, or hopefully make you happy, where you're going to feel the most grounded and happy in your work life, because we spend most of our adult life working we spend more time working than we do with our family a lot of times, right? So you got to be happy. You got to try to be happy. If you're not happy, then start really brainstorming about what would work for you and where you want to go, what changes you want to make, and start talking to people. Talk. Coffees with whomever. If there's a particular industry that you're interested in and you don't really know a lot of people, just reach out. People like to help one another, especially to connect you with people that do the work that you're interested in doing. And just research, gather your information, talk to people, but most importantly, get centered and really intentional for yourself and what you want your life to look like. Visualize it. I mean, I'm a big fan of vision boards and vision boarding. I do it on Pinterest, but my daughter and I did an actual poster this year, which was so wonderful. And it's just, what do you want your life to look like? And what do you want your work life to look like? So those are some tips.
Wonderful. I know a lot of people who think about making a change, but they're a little scared of what's going to happen next. What have you found most challenging about any of your career changes, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest changes I made was when I left Towery, the big global litigation law firm. I was an associate there for about 3 years, and I knew it just was not for me. So I really wanted to go back into the public interest, and I wanted to try criminal defense law, and I wanted to be a public defender. So I had to go and look for states that would hire me, not being barred there. And so that, so I made some research, but the fear there was going from this income to this income, and what would my life look like? Like, can I really make this change, and will it all come together, and can I pay my student loans, and and so getting through that fear about money especially is one of the hardest things, right? It is just, you're in fight or flight freeze mode when you're fearful about survival, money. And that's always something that you have to work through. But I think knowing that you are going to be okay no matter what, and there's always ways that you can make money. And kind of, I really truly believe in also like the law of attraction and abundance, and that abundance mindset. So getting clear about what it is you want to do, and trying to move through the fear by visualizing your happiness on the other side, and just know it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, what's the worst that can happen, and can you go through that, right? And then just and chop away at your fear that way. Yeah, it's money for me has always been scary, because I mean, I want to live in the moment. That's just how I am. And that's one of the reasons I've made so many changes, because I want to do what fulfills me, what I'm passionate about. But I lost my parents at a really young age, so I didn't have that safety net that so many people. So that's always been a fear for me. And I've learned through time that there's always money around the corner. You're going to be okay. You'll figure it out. Don't get wrapped up in the fear. Try not to.
I like that. That's really great advice for people who are going through this right now, which I think a lot of people are with the Great Resignation. One last question, what skills have you gained along the way that you didn't develop in law school?
Just about all of them, right? Resilience. I mean, law school was so much. I loved my law school. I went to AU, WCL. I mean, I'm still really good friends with all of my professors, and it was a great experience. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really teach you how to practice necessarily. And it doesn't really teach you how to pay your bills. Like I said, I started as like, I'm doing public interest law, but in DC, you don't make a lot of money. It's tough. And then you start to, then you raise a family, and then you bring in a family, and then you're like, oh God, I've got to pay for college for my daughter. And, the balance of all that life brings you, and then advocating for yourself. I think I didn't get a lot of that in law school, how to negotiate for yourself so that you get what you need, so that your team is actually more benefited by your skills, because you say, this is how I work best. I never told, like at Howery, I mean, you're in a law firm as an associate, you just get told what to do. I was miserable so much of that time because I didn't advocate for what I needed, because I didn't feel the power, like I had the power to do that. And I also didn't know how to have those hard conversations. So yeah, a lot of lessons I learned along the way. And you have to fail along the way to learn those lessons, or to not fail, but just you go through hard times. Going through hard times is resilience building, and we all go through it and get to the other side and move forward.
Well, this is really great advice for everyone, I would say, not just people thinking about career changes right now, but can't thank you enough for your time today, Candace.
Yeah, and I'm happy to talk through any and all. I mean, it is interesting, the more positions you hold, the more experiences you have and the more people you meet and connections you have too, which has been a gift for me. I mean, I know people in New Mexico and Texas, and it's just really, it's nice to connect, and everyone likes to help you connect with others too. So just remember that.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Amina.